Hey, Red Sox fans, Don Hewitt here. Today's July 12th, 2015. The All Star break is finally here. So, what is the state of our Boston Red Sox? Well, let's talk wins and losses first. At the unofficial halfway point, the Red Sox record is 42 and 47, and the team is in last place in the AL East. Can you believe it? Last place again. Their winning percentage is only 472, and that equates to 76 wins over a 162 game season. And 76 wins equates to no playoffs again. So at this point, to give some perspective, only the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's have worse records in the American League. So out of 15 teams, we're number 12 in wins, or number 13, sorry. Out of 15 teams, we're number 13 in wins for the fewest wins. So let's dive into the gamble that John Henry and management took by not replacing John Lester and John Lackey with proven arms. Buchholz, Porcello, Miley, Masterson, and Kelly have not been able to compete in the American League as a staff. So now we have Buchholz, who's hurt again. I know, shocking that he's hurt again. He's hurt every year. Why did we think this was going to be different? Porcello is having his worst year ever as a big leaguer. And it can happen. You know, when you change teams, you sign a big contract, you're trying to live up to the contract, show people you're worth it. I still like Porcello, and I hope he'll take some time off and get back to where he was with the Tigers. But that's not where he is right now. Miley is Miley. He's a guy who's going to end up 10 and 10, 12 and 12. He's going to pitch his 200 innings, and his ERA is going to be around 4. So again, Miley came in as a number 3, 4 starter, and he's actually lived up to what he was billed to be. Masterson, unfortunately, he has no velocity anymore, and now he's working out of the pen. Who knows if that's a spot where he can succeed in for the second half of the season, but he's certainly not a starter anymore. And Kelly, Joe Kelly, who said, hey, I think I'm going to win the Cy Young Award in March. Well, you're out of the big leagues now, Joe, and in Pawtucket so that you can find command and control of your pitches. So much for the spring training logo of we have 5 number ones on our staff. Buchholz, I'm the number 1 today. Well, I don't think anybody's a number 1. And thank God for Eduardo Rodriguez. I hate saying Erod because I don't want anything to do with A-Rod. So Eduardo Rodriguez for infusing some life into this rotation. It's bad when a rookie is your best pitcher going into the second half of the season. But just look how he stepped up and beat the Yankees in a huge game Saturday night. Something Buchholz couldn't do the same the night before. And we will see Brian Johnson finally at the big league level, at least until Brittle Man Buchholz comes back, and who knows when that'll be. I'm taking the over-under at 30, and I'm taking over. He'll be out 30 games at least. And maybe Stephen Wright will finally get a fair chance to compete for a rotation spot and give him a full month or 6 weeks. He's a stable guy. You know what you're going to get. He's going to give up 2, 3, 4 runs, and he's going to go 6, 7 innings, and he's going to give your team a chance to win. I think a rotation could use a guy like that. So the second half of the rotation, so the second half of this year, the rotation may start out as Porcello, Miley, Rodriguez, Wright, and Johnson. That's okay with me. And maybe Porcello should join Buchholz on the DL until he's mentally getting back to where he was with Detroit. And if that happens, maybe we'll get a chance to see what Henry Owens could do at the big league level. Could you believe that? 4 lefties in a starting rotation? That'd be pretty cool. That would bring you way back to the old days of Baltimore, way back when. But going on, as continuing with pitching, the bullpen is another problem, and that's partly because of overuse. Other than Koji and Tazawa, there were no stoppers out of the bullpen. Maybe Kelly should join Masterson and give the pen a try. Breslow's been terrible. Ogando, like today, he's giving up too many home runs. Lane, Ross, Barnes, they're 50-50 guys. You might get a good performance for an inning out of them, you may not. So the bullpen is just a mess. So this is my message to Ben Cherington as we head into the second half of the season after this 4-day All-Star break. Fix the starting rotation. Something you should have done back in December, January, February instead of putting guys in there that you knew were not going to compete. Putting 3 rookies in the 5 starting spots once play resumes and counting on them to give you more wins than losses, that's a lot to ask. You know, this rotation was neglected in the winter, and it's still the biggest problem. So here's my thought, Ben. Fix the rotation. And that's going to be harder to do now that Buchholz is down and everybody knows you're looking for pitching. But you know what? That's what you get paid the big dollars for. And you know what? That's the situation you're in because you didn't fix it in the off season. So that's where we're at. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.